welcome to Build. I'm your host, Laura Haywood, and I'm thrilled to be welcoming today's guest. At just 26 years old, Brooklyn native Anthony Ramos has put a major stamp on the entertainment industry. This Grammy-winning quadruple threat stars in the iconic role of Mars Blackmon in the Netflix series She's Gotta Have It. He has a recurring role on NBC's Will and Grace, and this week he releases Freedom, his gorgeous debut solo music EP. That's just the tip of the iceberg. His upcoming films include Warner Brothers' Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and A Star is Born opposite Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. And of course, Anthony's best known for originating the dual role of John Lawrence and Philip Hamilton in Hamilton, an American musical on Broadway. We're gonna have a chat and hear some music. First, let's take a look at She's Gotta Have It.
We fight out. We fight out. Hi, I'm Spike Lee. I'm not directing. I do this. It pays rent, puts food on the table, butter on my whole wheat bread. Anyway, I had this new comedy coming out. It's a very funny show. She's Gotta Have It. Check this out.
My first impressions of Nola Darling, insatiable.
There's a girl that I once knew who often had a friend or two. She gave them time of waiting rhyme sublime.
As a sex-positive, polyamorous pansexual, monogamy never even seemed like a remote possibility.
Doesn't it get confusing juggling all of them at the same time?
I'm used to knowing what I want in relationships and in my art, but lately I'm just so confused.
So tell me a little bit about the men in your life.
Oh, God. Mars makes me laugh until my sides hurt.
Yeah.
Greer is spontaneous. Nothing is ever the same with him. Jamie's grown, and he cares about me in a way that no one ever has.
Your name leaves my lips the moment I wake from slumber.
Yo, that's the wackest shit I ever heard. I don't ask
She's juggling a lot.
for much these days.
Men, ambitions.
We can't all be like Nola dating 3 hot dudes at once.
If you were obstacles, you just drive your cold. Cause one monkey don't stop the show. Little Mary's bad.
I gotta look within to feel what makes me happy.
You're a real talent.
To my beautiful friends,
My baby girl.
I think Nola's a freak.
I'm not a freak.
You're a sex addict.
I'm not a sex addict.
Excuse me, miss. Hey, boo. Baby girl.
And I'm damn sure nobody's property. My name is Nola Darling.
Welcome to Build, Anthony Ramos.
What's up?
Congratulations on She's Gotta Have It and everything else that you have done and are doing. We're gonna get to as much as we can, but let's start here. She's Gotta Have It is amazing.
Thanks.
10 episodes on Netflix. I will put a general warning out there. Don't start watching episode 1 unless you have, 7 hours to sit there and binge the whole thing. It is, it's hard to turn off. It's so engaging and so entertaining.
Thank you. I'm glad you binged it, yo. That's sick.
Yeah, I did. That's both the blessing and the curse of a Netflix show, is that it's hard to step away. You have stepped into some very iconic shoes, some very iconic Nikes, with the role of Mars Blackmon.
Yeah. Spike Lee.
When did you first see the movie? I know you didn't see it when it came out because you weren't alive then.
Yeah, right. No, I first saw the movie in the middle of shooting. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. Spike gave me the DVD. Like,
You were like, what is this?
yeah, right. No, but he gave me I loved it. He was like, yo, wait. It just slipped me the DVD, and I'm like, you act like it's drugs, bro. It's like, it's a movie. But like, yeah, he slipped me the DVD, and this was like before we had started shooting. And he was like, I want you to watch this, and I didn't watch it. I know, he knows. But we had started shooting, and finally in the middle of shooting, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna actually watch the movie now, because I didn't really want to imitate him, or I didn't want to watch him and have his portrayal of the character. I didn't want to have his version of the character in my mind when I was creating this new version. So, but it was good to watch it in the middle at least, and yeah, man, it's an iconic film, and he created an iconic role, so it's dope to be able to play that.
He did an interview recently where he was talking about some of the lines, the famous line, like "Baby, please, and the interviewer said, where did the idea to repeat that stuff come from? Do you know what his answer was?
The idea to repeat,
like to repeat
himself?
the same word, yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
He said he couldn't memorize the script.
Yeah.
So he just kept saying the line
Spike
over and over.
does that in real life, though.
Oh, yeah?
You know what I'm saying? Like, so be like, my man's. Like, you know, like he'll repeat himself over and over. Like he'll say the same word or the same phrase over and over. So I think he just kind of, you know, naturally like, you know, translated that over to his character. And like coincidentally, I do that in life as well. So it was like supernatural when I was like, please, mommy, mommy, please, you know.
So that's a line from the show.
Right.
Was that scripted that way, or did you play with the lines the same way Spike played with them when he played the role in his original movie?
Do you mean that specific line?
Or I guess I'm asking, you know, in theater, when you have a script, you stick exactly to the script. There's no playing with it. And in TV, sometimes with multiple takes, you have the opportunity to improv a little bit. And I'm curious as to how much permission you had to improv and play with the lines. A lot.
Yeah. Like there's one scene in particular. I mean, how many of y'all seen the show? I don't know. Have y'all, for those of y'all who've seen the show, this is not a spoiler alert. So, but there's a moment where I'm on the bed with Nola, and you know, I ask her, I'm like, you know, do I do it to you as good as these other dudes? And you know, I'm like, you know, you got mad room for all my Jordans underneath your bed. And then I you know, the beginning part of that was scripted, but then there's a whole section where I'm jumping over her, going back and forth on the bed, showing her how I used to sell bras and beauty supplies to women at Victoria's Secret. And that was from real life experience.
Really?
Like, I improv that whole scene because I used to work at Victoria's Secret for real. And I was like, yo, Spike, yo, I got a good one. He's like, all right, bet. He's like, what? I'm like, yo, I used to work at Victoria's Secret, bro. I was like, yo, let me just, he's like, yeah. Talk about that. So I was just, you know, so I got a whole section where I'm like, I got Nola's underwear on my face, and I'm like telling her, like, yo, this is how I used to sell the Incredible bra. This is how I used to sell the Bombshell. You know, like, yeah, so.
I'm trying to figure out when you could have done that, because you're 26 years old now. I know before Hamilton, which you've been with from the very beginning, you were working at a bakery and a preschool. So, like, how old were you when you were working at this lingerie store?
This was in between my second and third semester at college. I worked at, no, was it? No, it was right before I went to college. So like nobody would hire me. Yo, seriously, like I was turning 18, no one would hire me. I was like, yo, why doesn't anybody want to hire me? I'm like, do I look like somebody doesn't work hard? I'm like, yo, I'll work for $7 an hour, whatever you want. I don't care. Just please, I need a job. And finally, you know, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Soho. I'm gonna put on my best slacks. I'm put on my hand-me-down white college shirt. It used to be my brother's, and I'm gonna iron that thing till my arms fall off. And I'm gonna wear my, you know, we call them the tacos, you know. The Hispanics, we call them tacos, you know, the like really pointy, you know.
The dress shoes.
Yeah, right? And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna hit the strip and see if somebody will give me a job. And sure enough, this like older guy, really flamboyant, really nice guy named David at Victoria's Secret was like, I just love you. Yes, we need to hire him. Just bring him to the back. And yo, they gave me like, you're gonna make $9.65 an hour, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, word, I just got the job? Yes, we're gonna figure out your schedule. I was like, yo, yeah, I just kept thanking him. Thank you so much. And, but yeah, I don't know, I just went off the rails just now, but like, yeah, but that's Victoria's Secret, man, that's how I got that job, and you know, and in between gigs, you know, I was always doing side hustles, bakery, preschool, you know, that's dope that you know that, that's crazy.
I like to do a lot of research. In fact, one thing that actually I learned from an interview with one of your castmates here is it true that you did the entire table read for the entire series, like locked in Spike's apartment for 10 hours?
We did a lot of it. No, we did it at 40 Acres.
Oh, his production studio.
Yeah, his office, yeah.
I've never heard of a TV series that, I mean, you basically binge read it.
Yeah, we just read through the whole thing. Like, he gave us all 10 episodes. He gave us like this layout of all of his notes from when he actually when he did the movie, which was crazy. Yeah, Spike he's unorthodox, and that's what makes him. He's a genius, man. He's brilliant, man. It's like, yeah, he's dope.
I am obsessed with the writer's room on this show. Some of my favorite playwrights are involved, including Lynn Nottage and Isa Davis, and Lynn's also a producer on the show.
Rada Blank, Beast.
Yeah. And the writing is so fresh, and yet it's such an incredible homage to the original project. I can only imagine it's an honor to be a part of this.
Absolutely. I mean, like, it's dope to be in a room. It's dope to do material written by so many awesome women. Like, this is a show about a woman, and how many times do we find men writing pieces about women? And this is like, this is the women outnumber the men on this team, and their voices are more than heard, which is amazing. And I think who would not want to be in that kind of environment, Because I think, I always say it all the time, I think women are smarter than men, I'm so serious, just from like personal experience. I live with my mother and my sister, and now, with my girlfriend, and like, she's like mad, she's like smarter than me, So I just like, every time I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do this, and she's like, all right. And I'm like, yeah. You're not gonna fight me on this? No, you do your thing, bro. I already told you what you need to do, So, and then it always ends up being, oh man, I'm sorry, I should have done what you said, and so it's like, women are dope.
Your girlfriend, since you brought her up, is somebody that I think a lot of us in this room are familiar with. Castmate on Hamilton.
That's right.
You may know her as Aunt Peggy, but I know her as Jasmine Cephas Jones, and you guys are so cute together, and the internet is obsessed with you. I feel like you're like, when the kids are shipping their favorite actors and characters, you guys are like the real life embodiment of that.
Can I ask a question? What does that mean?
To ship someone?
Yes.
It's like fantasy sports, except for people that you wish would date each other.
Wow, okay. Wow, but how does shipping like a...
It's like fan fiction for real people, sort of.
All right.
It's like everybody tries to ship Lin-Manuel Miranda and Jonathan Groff.
Oh, okay.
Because they want them to be in love in real life. Oh, she's not having it. But yeah, so people love that you guys love each other. Yeah. And I love it when on your Instagram, you'll be like singing to camera and you're like, come in here, girls. And she comes in her nightshirt and she's like singing and dancing along.
And Nala and our dog.
Yeah.
Gotta give her.
Yeah, you're doing a great job on all the social. So.
Oh, thanks. I'm trying. I've been slacking for a while.
Well, Instagram is where I first heard the new tracks because you put little previews of them, and I'm really excited to transition into talking about the EP.
Yeah.
5 songs coming out next week, or just a few days, right?
Yeah, January 20th. So next week. Next week. We have our first 2 shows tomorrow and the day after at Rough Trade. We sold out both. Hallelujah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man.
And then you're doing some in other cities too, right?
One in Chicago and one in LA, and who knows? Sky's the limit. We're proud of what we've come up with, and the whole squad is here. Like I brought all of my day ones here today for you guys to see, and these are the cats that we've been through the trenches together, and it's a blessing to get to perform up here in a little while with those guys, man, because those are my day ones.
When you say day ones, how long have you known these guys?
So I've known all of them probably for about 3 or 4 years now. And it's just been, it's been like, day one, meaning like day one, like these are the cats that were like, yo, I believe in you, I love you, and let's get it.
So these weren't people who were like, oh, you're involved in Hamilton, like maybe let me hang out.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. I met one of them doing Hamilton, but he was super in the cut, man.
Yeah.
Super in the back, doing his thing. But I'll never forget it. He came up to me, my boy Will. He's like, yo, Ed, you ever made a record before? I was like, nah. He said, yo, everybody here is talented, but you special, man. I was like, bet.
Yeah, I'd keep that guy around too.
Yeah, that's my man.
So let's talk about the inspiration for this record. I know that the song Freedom, which I have heard more times than I should probably admit, like I said earlier, I could probably get up and sing it with you or for you. I'm not going to, don't worry. But it's such a good track, both that and Common Ground, which is the other one that I had early access to. It's unapologetically political. I understand that you started writing these tracks the day after the election last year. You're dropping them on the anniversary of the inauguration. And it is crazy to me on so many levels that these songs get more and more relevant day by day.
It's crazy to me too.
Because freedom is a straight up question about what it means to be free in America. It has lyrics that reference the Pledge of Allegiance, and you're calling out the system.
Yeah, I mean, shouldn't we all? Right?
Yes.
I don't think we should just take everything, face value. Like I think, if somebody tells you something, you should always question. God bless you. I think it's important to ask questions in life. I don't think you need to ask questions about everything all the time. I think you'll drive yourself crazy. But if something doesn't feel right inside of you, it's okay to understand and acknowledge, oh, something doesn't feel right in me, so I should try and figure that out. Or question, what is going on with me? What is going on around me? And ask yourself those questions, and don't be afraid of the answers, and don't be afraid of what you might need to do to make things right for yourself and do the right thing for the people around you.
I'm glad you're wearing your I Stand With Immigrants shirt.
All day, baby.
I know that you were involved in the charity single that Lynn put together for Puerto Rico hurricane relief. Did you go down there?
Yeah, I went to Puerto Rico twice. I went to Puerto Rico with an organization called the Maria Fund, who I am working with now. Spike and I collaborated, and we took a photo, and he put on sale these shirts that I wear, and She's Gotta Have It. These Afro Boricua shirts, and they sold out. We raised a good amount of money for the Maria Fund, and it's just like, now I'm just finding creative ways to continue to do that and continue to contribute to what those guys are doing. And I was blessed enough to go down to Puerto Rico and see all the amazing things that they're doing, but also see how it just made me that much more, that made me even proud, more proud to be Puerto Rican. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow, I thank God I was born Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? To see not only how hard those people work, and how there's this attitude of we're not going to wait on anybody, but it's also but we're going to do it with joy. We went to one of the most devastated towns in Humacao, and I went ready to work. We had just gone to this other town called Comerío the day before, and we were cleaning up what used to be somebody's house. And that day was filled. That day was tough, but it was amazing to see the joy. It was so incredible to see how joyous these people were in the midst of their turmoil. And then the next day we go ready to work to Humacao, and the two people running this kitchen is called these mutual social kitchens that they have, that they're putting in each one of the towns that are devastated the most, and feeding the communities. All you got to do is just come in and trade something in, and you get fed. Whatever you have, and as soon as I come, I get there. We get there, me and two other friends, and they're like, "¿Qué tú quieres comer? What you want to eat?" Their first question, these are people in need, and they're asking me, what do I want to eat? Mm-hmm. And I was scratching my head, and then the people running the place, this couple, They come and we're like, yo, we're ready to work. They're like, nah, come to the crib. Let's have a drink.
Yeah.
Like, in the midst, like, there's so much work to do. And even in the middle of that, they're like, nah, let's get to know each other. Let's have a drink. Let's have communion. Let's chill, And I was like, yo, why can't we be like that here?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I understand you had a transformative experience with a taxi driver recently.
Yo, so I met this taxi driver in LA in the Philippines. I mean, it's just amazing, like, how I'm coming across so many amazing people. Like, we're going through so much in this country right now, but it's like I've met some of the most incredible people in the last 2 years. I'm like, wow. I'm like, we're going through all of this, but it's like I'm meeting some of the best people I've ever met in this crazy turbulent time. It's funny, right? Like, if a plane has turbulence, people tend to hold on to each other a little more. So I feel like we're on a plane that's having a lot of turbulence, but folks is like, come on, And it's amazing. Like, I met this guy named Chris, picked me up from the airport. I had just arrived to LA, all jet lagged. I'm all messed up. I'm like, my man is like, hey, what's up, man? What's up? The drivers, sometimes they be talking. You just be like, I just want to be in the back. I just want to go to my destination. But I was like, nah, man, we gonna kick it. And he's like, yeah, so we get to talking. He's like, yeah, I'm from the Philippines. And, I came here, I think it was about 6 years ago or something like that. And he was like, I'm supporting my younger sister. And, she's studying, I believe he said to be a doctor. I may be misquoting, but something incredible. And, he said, yeah, she's got 6 years of school, so I'm just, like, supporting her and helping her live out her dream. And I said, so what is your dream? And he's like, yeah, I just came here, man. I really want to be a bartender. And my man is a bartender. Like, it's not even like he's scraping by doing something. Like, my man is living his dream. And through him living his dream, he has given his sister the opportunity to live out hers. Mm. And then he drives in the mornings with no complaints. And I was like, yo. I said, if Donald Trump says an immigrant is lazy one more time, I'm going to have to go to this White House myself and talk to this man. I was like, yo, this isn't, like, how can you, Mm-hmm. But it's immigrants are, come on. America's full of immigrants. We're made up of immigrants.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And this guy just inspired me so much, man. I was just like, yo, thank you for the inspiration. And, he hit me up on Instagram. And I was like, yo, if you come to New York, hit me up.
Oh, my gosh, that's amazing.
So shout out to my man, Chris. Yo, keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing.
I love, throughout your sort of time in the public eye, I feel like so often you name people. You call people out by name who have changed your life, whether it's Chris, the cab driver, David, the guy at the Victoria's Secret who took a chance on you. You've talked about teachers that have changed your life. And I think it's so special and significant that you don't just say, like, thanks to everyone who's lifted me up over the years. You, like, specify.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I think we should make it more of a priority to remember those things, because, we can get caught up in our own worlds, right? And we can get caught up in, like, the things that, we can get caught up in ourselves so much, but, like, then you forget about all the people, all this, whether big or small, that helped you get to where you are, whether it's just, like, helped you get to the next moment in the day, somebody that just, like, gave you that talk or said that thing to you that just helped you get to the next moment. He was like, damn, I was going off the rails, and this guy right here just said, like, God bless you, and handed me my coffee. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. I am blessed, And it's like the Davids and the Chris's and the Sarah Steinweis and the Kate Fennemans and the Will Wells and the Robert Manganero. Those are the people that, Yeah.
Gratitude is a powerful force in the world, and you are embodying it. We're going to get to some music. We're going to take a couple questions from the audience. Right. I want to talk just for a second, and it's not even a question. I just want to say how moved I was by the song Common Ground. the first time I listened to it, I thought it was a love song. I thought it was like about a relationship in a little bit of turmoil. And then I re-listened to it as an anthem for the country and for where we are as a divided nation. And especially in conjunction with the title track, Freedom, it had a completely new layer, and I just broke down into, like, I was weeping. This music is, I don't know what I expected when I heard you were putting out music. I really don't, but I just remember turning it on and being like, oh, damn. This is great.
Thanks.
So I'm really excited. First, let's take a couple of questions from our sold out audience. Your people
Thanks
are here.
for showing up, y'all.
Hey, I just want to say that it's really dope to like finally meet you and everything. Just following your career has been really inspiring.
Thanks.
I wanted to start off by saying I love your energy as an actor so much. Like in everything you do, there's a unique type of energy you bring to it, which it's really beautiful. So I'm gonna start off with that. But my question really was, so since you're playing a role that Spike had played before, I can imagine that he probably gave you some general guidelines for it, or maybe had some general thoughts on like what he wants to see out of your performance. And also I was just wondering like what you learned from playing Mars in general about yourself.
Yeah, so actually Spike didn't give me any, like, there was none of that. He was just like, yo, you're gonna be Mars. That was it. Like the only thing he wanted was like, yeah, you gotta cut your hair. And I just fought him on that. And I was like, nah. He was like, yo, Caesar, I need you to cut your hair. You know, Caesar is a short, like one, fade type cut. And I was like, nah. And this is why. And I got together with Larry Cherry, legendary hair supervisor, that's been working with Spike for years, and Lemon Anderson, a good friend of mine, and the story editor for She's Gotta Have It. And all three of us came together and like an army and convinced Spike to keep the hair. And I basically got to do whatever with the role. Like he really it was like the words were on the page, but everything was, almost everything was up for discussion, And, so it's like, that was a blessing to actually have the man who created the role say to you, like, or rather not say anything and just be like, do your thing, So that was awesome.
There's one scene in the show where you we find out Mars has like a vlog or an Instagram
series.
Yeah. And he's like, what up, Martians?
Right.
I really want for season 2 for there to be like an Instagram spinoff where Mars actually does a Martians like Instagram show.
That's crazy.
Even just to stay in character while you're in your trailer or whatever. I feel like that has to exist. So consider that in the suggestion box.
I will send the suggestion. That's dope.
We have another question.
How did you feel when you found out you were playing the character with your same origin?
I'm sorry, one more time?
How did you feel when you found out you were playing a character with the same origin as you?
Like from Brooklyn and I was hyped. I'm from, Mars is from Fort Greene Projects, right? I'm from Hope Gardens Projects in Bushwick. Mars is Puerto Rican and black. I'm Puerto Rican, it's like, and I grew up, and all my friends growing up were Puerto Rican and black. You know what I'm saying? I grew up watching gentrification in Brooklyn, and so did Mars, So it's like, getting to play that character and getting to see that, getting, having the opportunity to speak and be that voice for the people in New York and in Brooklyn. That's a gift, that's a gift, and it's personal for me. And, and it was all, I don't think anything is a coincidence, but it was coincidental that I so happened to fall into these Jordans. You know what I'm saying?
And your mom got to come to set and hang out with you, and
she did. She
basically shooting in your backyard.
Yeah, she kicked it. She kicked it. She comes to every set, yo. She be chilling. Yeah, and they take care of her. She's,
Of course, she made you.
Thank God.
We've got time for one more before we hear some tunes.
I was wondering, when you was filming Godzilla, how did it feel to go to 5 countries in 3 days?
That's some research.
Yeah, that is research. We actually did not go to 5 countries. We were only in Atlanta and Mexico. But the film is in 5 countries, yes. Movie magic, baby, Hollywood. But it was dope to get to go to Mexico and shoot and to see how like wild the people were going for, like how excited the people were for us to be there and for us to be shooting there and getting to kick it with the people and it's just amazing. Like it was incredible to have that experience and that cast is bananas. Like that cast is crazy.
I've actually always wanted to know this. What is Godzilla like in real life?
I'm still trying to find out, babe. I'm still trying to find out.
Really quick, can you give us one Lady Gaga story from A Star Is Born? I know you were shooting with her for like 2 months and you like can't even call her Gaga because she's just Stephanie to you.
Stephanie, yeah, no, yeah, but I don't know, man. Like one story. I mean, she told us about how Beyonce's mom made her this dress that only like her and Beyonce have. Like that's it. It was so dope. Like, and Stephanie's mad strong. Like, like every now and then, we'd get to she'd give me a little story here, a little story there, and like the common denominator in every story was just how strong she is, man. She's such a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has endured so much, and she is like. From the little bit that she let me in with, she's just a beast, man. And it was a blessing to work with her and just like and get to know her a little bit,
Well, you're all over the place. I love that you've conquered television and Broadway and theater and film and now music. This is launching, and I'm so proud that you're here to help launch that process.
Thank you.
All right, thank you
y'all,
so
man.
much, Anthony.
Thank you.